Welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of Ask the King for February 17th, 2011. Let's get right back into it because I have so many questions to answer, and let me get my timer going. Alright, next question. It says, hey DSP, you said that E3 was over $500 in your mid-year calendar update and that you might not be going. Now, what he's referring to is, I just did a calendar update over on DSP Gaming. I went through all the games I'm going to be playing, but also all the events and tournaments going on this year, and E3 is one of them. But when I did my research, I actually found out tickets to E3, okay, just to get in the door, they cost between $400 and $500 a person. That's insane. Then, of course, in addition to that, there'd be the cost of the plane flight, the cost of the hotel room, food, and all that. And when I was weighing it, I was like, compared to like going to a Street Fighter tournament, you know, entry is $20, $30. You pay a couple of games, you know, and the hotel and the flight and all that. That's a lot of fucking money, and I really had to think, you know, if I go to E3 and I film a lot of footage, sure, some of it I could probably put up and get Machinima, you know, to approve it for the partnership program, but I'm not sure what the technicalities are going to be. If I put up footage of a game ahead of time, will I get in trouble, yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, I originally was really thinking of going to E3 strongly, but now I'm not so sure about it. But anyway, going along with this question, could we, the fans, help pay for your way there? I'm sure a lot of your fans, including myself, would help, and we want to see you go. Thanks. That's from MRG. Mr. Grimm 123. Sorry, Mr. Grimm. Well, here's the deal. All right, I have never, since I started working for you, since I started putting videos up on YouTube over 2.5 years ago, not once have I ever asked for a dime from anyone. And I know a lot of people out there, a lot of haters, are saying the contrary, trying to say that I constantly ask for donations and I fool people into giving me donations. It's not true, okay? I have never made a significant amount of money off of donations, period. It's anything that I do get is much appreciated, but I have not made a lot of money doing it, okay? And so, yeah, they're lying, first of all, to try to slander my name, and it is what it is. Like I said, haters gonna hate. But, I mean, as you know, there is a way to donate to me. It's my email address, darksidefil@hotmail.com. Just send funds through PayPal to that address. And whatever you send me, I definitely use for gaming purposes, whether it's buying new equipment, whether it's buying the games, whether it's traveling. In fact, I just bought tickets to Final Round in Atlanta, which is in March this year. I believe it starts on March 10th. And, you know, that definitely, some of the donations that I've gotten in the past helped me out with that. But something like this, I mean, I guess what I would say is if people are really interested in seeing me go, I mean, yeah, obviously, if I did get a lot of donations to go, then, and if it was enough, for example, to cover the tickets plus the hotel room, and keep in mind, I couldn't be able to go by myself. I'd have to get someone like Rambo or someone to go with me to be a cameraman while I'm looking at stuff. You know, someone would have to film. I mean, yeah, I would consider doing it. And I've heard that people, for example, Mike Ross and Gutex, that they have these donation drives and stuff. Sorry, I'm just not into that. I don't think that's cool to ask fans to pay my way. I really don't. I don't think that's cool. I think it's lame. I think that, if anything, the way for me to go to E3 would be that I make such good content on YouTube that everyone watches the living shit out of my videos, and I make a lot of money with my Machinima partnership. That I would feel good about. Not saying, oh, please send me free money, please, so I can have a good life and you can sit back and watch me record me have a good life. I mean, that's lame. But I'm not against it. If people are interested in seeing me go to E3, you can donate. But just keep in mind, I'm not 100% saying that I could go, especially if, you know, I don't even make close to the amount of money to even get in the door, then there's no way. But I'm not saying E3's off the table. If I end up getting, you know, an overwhelming amount of donations that people want me to go, then yeah, I would definitely consider going. But I'm not asking for it. I don't want you to take it like that. I'm definitely not asking for it. It would have to be completely optional of your own, you know, your own will that, you know, you're donating. And I've always said that I'm not going to ask for money. That's messed up. Okay, next question. It says, hi Phil, my question is, have you ever attended any live WWE or TNA events? And that's from Jake 2012 RHS. The answer is yes. I have seen a couple Raws and a couple SmackDowns that were actually in Bridgeport, Connecticut at Harvard Yard Arena. The most notable one that I can remember, it was a SmackDown episode, and it was, I believe, Brock Lesnar against Paul Heyman in a steel cage, and if I remember correctly, what happened, this is really funny, okay? Kurt Angle was supposed to run out and make a save, basically save Paul Heyman from getting, like destroyed by Brock Lesnar. And he runs out, Kurt Angle runs out, and he's trying to get inside the steel cage, and the damn lock won't open. The lock was supposed to be able to open, like he's so strong he rips it open, and it fucked up. It wasn't a prop lock, someone put a real lock on the door like an idiot. So he couldn't get in. So Lesnar picks up Paul Heyman, puts him on his shoulders, and holds him there for like a straight 3 minutes without doing his finisher move. Because he's like, damn, is Angle ever going to come in here and save? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And so finally Angle said, to hell with this, climbed the side of the cage, went in and saved Paul Heyman that way. But it was just really funny looking because when they edited it on TV, none of that happened. It was Kurt Angle ran out, tried to get the door open, uh-oh, it's locked, and immediately climbed over and saved Paul Heyman. It looked great on TV, but on being there live, you actually saw the botch. So yeah, that was pretty funny in my opinion. But yeah, I've only been to live WWE events, never been to a TNA, and I would actually consider doing them in the future, or going to some in the future if they're local again. Next question has been asked by about 7,000 people, so I'm just going to answer it collectively for everyone. The question is, when will you know if Machinima is working out for you financially? Working with them through a strategic partnership like I am. And the answer is probably, I'm hoping, it's going to be by the end of March. And the reason I say that is because some things are changing with the way that the program works, and I'm not going to disclose any details. But basically, I'm probably going to see my first payment at the end of March. And when I see what it is, then I'll be able to gauge based off of the amount of views I've had. Now keep in mind I've had some problems. My internet was down for a full week. I couldn't get the ads enabled right away when I wanted them to. Like I said, when Dead Space 2 first came out, I probably would have had a shit ton of views that were ads on those videos. But the problem was that YouTube was basically dragging their fucking feet and taking forever because they're so slow to do anything. And so I know I lost a lot of money that week. I probably lost over $1,000 to be completely honest, that 1 week. So there's been some reasons why things have been slow. Now on the flip side of that, every day has been amazing since Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was released 2 days ago. I mean, 3 days straight. I have over, I believe, over 100,000, almost up to 200,000 views a day. So that could work out really freaking well. So I'm curious to see when I get my first payment what it's going to be. Roughly, I should see that probably near the end of March. So we'll see what happens, and I'll let everyone know when that happens. Okay, next question. Phil, I am interested on learning your opinion on the controversial inclusion of simple mode in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It can be chosen on a round or before a round, and it simplifies combo moves and finishers for players that are new, even if their opponent isn't using it, and several credible, honest reviewers have mentioned it. Do you feel that it will be an issue or just something to be overlooked? And that's from Marvel Fanboy. It's his actual name. Well, I don't know, Marvel Fanboy. This is the first time that I've ever heard anyone call it controversial. I don't know if you're aware of this, but in all of the previous Versus games, there was this mode. It was called Easy Mode, and basically you could get special moves, super moves to come out very easily. Now, just to explain to everyone how this works, all you need to do is basically push any direction and certain buttons, and you'll get a special move to come out, you'll get a combo to come out automatically. It's pretty much like, if someone that doesn't understand the game and doesn't actually want to learn how the game works, they just want to have some fun and just basically mash around, then this would be the way to play the game. So what's my feeling about that? If you really want my honest opinion, I love it, and here's why. I told you previously that Street Fighter 4 was dumbed down, meaning that the controls of Street Fighter 4 were dumbed down so that a wider audience could play the game, which now means that you don't have to actually do the motions to get special moves to come out. There's all kinds of input shortcuts that you can do. They also made the reversal window in that game so wide that it's so easy to just mash out a Dragon Punch and not even really do the motion, and it just blows through someone when they're attacking you, and it makes it way too easy to do it. Capcom did that to appeal to the masses who were complaining that the games were too hard to play. And I still stick to my guns here saying that I really feel that they dumbed down the game to the point where it's not as competitive as it should be, and I wish there was a hardcore mode where it would disable those input shortcuts and that reversal window and all that. Well, that's exactly what Marvel vs. Capcom 3 did. Simple mode dumbs down the game to the point where you don't really need to understand the game. You can still pull off crazy stuff. But here's the thing. Unlike Street Fighter 4, in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, simple mode is not allowed in tournament play. It's laid out right there in the rules. No, you cannot go simple mode because that's cheating. You're not doing the motions you need to do. You're not using the timing you need to do. You're letting the game play itself, basically. So it's not allowed in competitive tournament play. On the flip side of that, in Street Fighter 4, there's no way to exclude the easier controls, the input shortcuts, or the reversal window, and take that out of tournament play. There's no way to avoid it. So I like what they did there. I think it's going to make the game appealable to the masses, but at the same time, it'll keep the game on a competitive level for those who want to play in normal mode. So that's my opinion on that, and I applaud Capcom. I think that was a great decision. Next question. It's I'm a guy who has never played a Marvel vs. Capcom game, and my fighting game experience is very limited. My question is this: given that by the time you potentially read this, you'll have played the game a while, in your opinion, do you think that Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is a game that a person like me can play and enjoy? That's from Rob Miami 9. Rob Miami 9, I hope you just listened to the answer I just gave to the question before. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is your kind of game. Because if you really don't want to get into this game hardcore, you just want to have fun, and you're afraid that the game might be too difficult for you to have fun with, that's exactly what simple mode is for. This game is right up your alley. I recommend you get it. Plus, it has a bunch of cool Marvel and Capcom characters in it. Flashy supers, you can't go wrong. Check out my time. Alright. Next question. Hi Phil, I recently got a deal on a Tekken 6 bundle. For $29.95, I got the game and a Tekken 6 wireless fighting stick. Since I didn't have a stick, it seemed like a cheap way to get one. Anyway, these things have been sitting on the shelves for a while, so the retailer decided to get rid of them at a fraction of the original price. He's right, when these were new, these were going for anywhere from $100 to $150 a pop. After seeing the sticks you had done for sale on eBay, I had noted that they were all wired sticks, not wireless. My question is this: are there issues with input lag with wireless sticks? Are there reasons to prefer one type over the other? That's from Zenlike40. Well, Zenlike40, you hit the nose right on the button. Wireless joysticks and wireless gamepads have problems with lag. Now, gamepads not so much, but what was found was when people were testing that joystick, not only did it have input lag, meaning when you pressed the button, it took a longer period of time for whatever you pressed to actually happen on screen, but in addition to that, the damn thing was dropping inputs altogether. Meaning you might do a clutch combo, and here's the finisher, the joystick would not register, and it would never happen in the game, and you'd be like, what the fuck? And the reason that this joystick didn't sell is because most people who buy these joysticks are trying to actually learn the game and be competitive with the game, possibly enter the tournament scene. So what idiot would purposely buy a joystick that's going to make him slower and sometimes not even work and not even give him the move that he enters on the joystick? So this was a big flop by Hori. They made all these sticks. No one bought them. And he's actually right. You could probably find the bundle online right now for about $30. So if anyone wants a wireless stick for whatever reason, or if you want Tekken 6, you can find a really good discount online right now. What a horrible failure that experiment was. I don't think we'll ever see another wireless fighting stick again. Okay, next question. This is a good one. What is your response to Justin Wong saying that Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is cheap and easy? And that's from Ryo Horikawa. What he's referring to is that Justin Wong made a Twitter comment a couple days ago saying, well, I've played Marvel 3 and the game is very cheap and easy. And then a bunch of people gave him shit for it, saying, what do you mean by that? Are you talking shit about Marvel 3? And he responded, well, I don't mean to say that I hate the game. I actually think the game's fun, but it's the cheapest game ever made. Okay. All I'm going to say is this, because Justin's been saying some really fucking stupid stuff. First, he talked shit last year about Adon in Super Street Fighter 4 before he even put significant time into the game, and gets his ass handed to him by GamerB in Evolution. That became a big thing where everyone basically said, ha ha, you're an idiot for saying dumb stuff like that without actually putting the time in. Here we are, launch week of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and he thinks he knows everything about the game already. I mean, what fucking planet does he live on at this point? Let me say this. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave it at this because I don't want to go off on a tangent any longer than I have to. Justin Wong plays Super Street Fighter 4, a game with input shortcuts and the largest reversal window in any fighting game ever created. It is the easiest fighting game to play. Now, that's not to say that on a competitive level that you can win in tournaments. That's not easy. But just to learn the game and be able to play it on at least a semi-competitive level is pretty damn easy. So for someone who is basically plays that game, makes money off of that game, to make this kind of a comment about a brand new game that he hasn't even played yet, that's really damn hypocritical, and he needs to stop making Twitter posts like that. And I said this before, he needs a publicist who would shut him up when he has to say stupid stuff like that. Damn, we're running out of time. I have a shitload of questions left. I'm going to turbo through some. Alright, a lot of people ask me this one. What do you feel about all the Marvel 3 DLC content that's been announced? They're saying it's going to be $5 per new character you want to download and $5 for a pack of costumes. Here's my feeling. Costumes, I don't care about, because costumes, to be completely honest, are optional. They don't affect gameplay. Capcom can sell the living shit out of costumes all day if they want. It's your fault if you bought it. It's that simple. However, the DLC with the characters, that's bullshit. Because those characters are already in the game for the most part. And when I buy a $60 game, I want a complete game. And the problem is, if I'm going to play this game on a competitive level, I'm going to need to buy those characters, because if I don't, then someone who buys those characters is going to have an advantage over me, because they're going to know all these tricks and strategies with those characters. And if I've never seen those tricks and strategies, I won't know how to defend against them, and I'm at a disadvantage in a competitive environment. So basically, here's what's happening. There's going to be 4 DLC characters released. One is Jill, one is Shumagara. There's very high speculation that one will be Frank West, and one's going to be Dr. Octopus. That's $20 that I have to spend in order to play this game in a tournament setting. That's bullshit. Capcom needs to check themselves with that shit, because that's really messed up. It would be one thing if they were releasing these characters in a year and they were doing a whole rebalance of the game like they did with Super Street Fighter 4, but they're not doing that. They're charging me money for a game that I already paid $60 for in order for me to stay competitive. That's bullshit. I disagree with that business practice. Okay. Next question. I've heard various people complain about the sheer amount of damage dealt by characters in Marvel 3, saying that it's too high. What's your opinion on this, and do you prefer the high damage combos that can knock out characters in one touch, or would you like to see the damage scaled back? That's from TX Fats, probably Texas Fats. The answer is this. I don't know what game everyone's playing, because the same shit was in Marvel 2. Does anyone remember Cable? Remember when he had 3 Viper Beams and he could kill your whole fucking team in about 3 seconds? Remember Magneto, who could infinite the living shit out of you and with 2 mix-ups kill your entire team by guard breaking them when they came in? I mean, the people that are complaining weren't competitive Marvel 2 players. Let me put it that way. I think the difference between the games is that in Marvel 2, besides the Cable Viper Beam fiasco, it was a little bit more difficult to do these kind of high damage combos. But the bottom line is this. They existed in Marvel 2. They're still in Marvel 3. I see no problem with it. Next question. Will you be playing Marvel 3 with the fans? That's from 100,000 people. The answer is yes. Eventually I will be doing fan matches on both the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. Next question. Hey Phil, what's your impressions of Marvel 3 thus far? Is there anything you dislike about the game? And do you think some characters should get nerfed or buffed? Or is everything well balanced? Thanks for the answer. And that's from Det. I don't know if that's his full name or just an abbreviation, DET. Quick answer, since I'm running out of time, is this. It's way too early to tell. Initially, I really liked the game. There's nothing I necessarily dislike about it besides the online play netcode, which lags like fuck and sucks monkey dicks. And that's on both systems. I have played it on both systems. The online play sucks ass on both systems. Keep in mind, I'm now on Optimum Boost, which is the fastest internet available in my area. It's over 20 megabytes per second download and 5 megabytes per second upload. That should be fast enough to have a good connection. It is not. It is laggy as fuck. So, Capcom, once again, I have to say, fuck you. You need to fix your netcode, or just don't put the fucking feature in the game, because it sucks. It's a horrible experience for people who are trying to learn the game and actually play it on a competitive level. But I reserve my actual judgment of the game until I go to a couple tournaments like Winter Brawl, Final Round, get some more immersion in the game, then we'll see and we'll come back with an opinion. Alright, Twitter questions. First question is from Salad UK, and his question is this. If you win EVO 2011, would you consider doing it again, or is this the last hurrah? I think the reason he's asking that is because previously I had said I really wanted to go to EVO one more time, and I really wanted to do it this year. Well, the bottom line is this. If I can record an EVO and all the videos, you know, I can make money off of it, there's no reason for me not to keep going. There's no reason for me not to try to be competitive. and go repeatedly. Now, things have kind of changed from what I was doing previously. And so, we'll see what happens. But yeah, if I win EVO, yeah, chances are I'll probably go back again, because just going is going to be fun for notoriety reasons, money match reasons, things like that, just the hype itself. So we'll see what happens. Next question from Deculis. He says, you promised the condo tour, but I never saw one. Where is it, DSP? Well, Deculis, you're absolutely right. You got me. I forgot to do it. I was actually waiting during all of January to see if what was going to happen with Blip, with Machinima and all that. Fair enough. You did get me. I will do a condo tour at some point coming up soon, and it will. I'm gonna have to put it on on the TKOHD. I can't put it on gaming channel because it has nothing to do with gaming. But I will do it. I promise. Okay. Next question. DSP, wouldn't it be better if you made a private lobby with good players to learn in Marvel 3 rather than blowing up people online? That's from Foxhound. Yeah, it would be great, but guess what? I don't live next to many good players. Sure, I could try to convince someone like Yipes or other people, but number one, I don't talk to them outside of the tournament scene. I've been out of the tournament loop for several years anyway, so I wouldn't even know how to contact them. And none of them live in Connecticut, so no matter what I do, the connections will be fucking balls, and there's no reason to waste my time with online play doing that. It's a lot more fun beating up on scrubs anyway. Next question. If someone was trying to step up and play Super Street Fighter 4 on a professional level, what character would you tell them to pick? That question is from J Cancer, and the answer is Ryu. Ryu, overall, is the most rounded character in any Street Fighter ever. He's consistently good in every single fighting game he's ever been in. He's really good in Super Street Fighter 4. I would start with Ryu. Next question. Are there any characters from Marvel vs. Capcom 2 that feel incredibly different in Marvel 3, and in what way? And that's from Nick Buster. The bottom line is this. Lots of characters from Marvel 2 seem significantly different in Marvel 3. Even though a lot of their attacks look similar and even have the similar motions, their properties have changed. For example, Captain America's Shield Slash now hits forward and when it's coming back. But his combos are different. He's way slower. His Stars and Strikes, which used to be like an anti-air Shoryuken type move, is no longer invincible. It sucks ass. So what you're seeing, even though it looks like some of it is similar to Marvel 2, it's a far cry from Marvel 2. It's a lot different. I can't really explain too much in depth until I play the game more, but it is different. 2 more questions and then we're done. First question, what is it about Super Turbo that makes you hold it in such high regard over other fighting games? That's from a Flatten, or a Flatten, I'm not sure. Well, it's because Super Turbo is the granddaddy of competitive fighting video games. It was really the first version of Street Fighter where people said, wow, this game is amazing for competitive play. It added so many elements that other games didn't have. It had the first game to ever have super moves, which completely changed the face of fighting games, and every single fighting game after that ended up getting them. Complex combos, juggles. This was one of the first games to actually have legit juggles in it. An air juggling system. Reversals. True reversals where the game tells you when you're doing a reversal. And the fact that even though, yes, there is mismatching in the cast and not everyone is balanced, if you put the dedication and time in, you can be good with every character in that game, including Zangief. Even though it would be really hard to win a tournament, you can kick ass with Zangief. So that's why. It was the first fighting game to really feel, number one, very balanced, number two, revolutionized fighting games by adding so many elements that every other fighting game afterwards kept, like supers and juggles, and number three, it's just fun. It's fucking fun, and you could sit there and play it for 1 hour or play it for 20 hours, and you're still going to have fun. So that's why. Final question, with perfect timing because we're running out. This one is from SebTH1, and his question is, what is your birthday, month and day only? Because I guess some people are interested in possibly sending me a happy birthday wishes, or maybe sending me some birthday presents. Well, April 6th. And I said that last year, actually, if you would watch my Mega Man 10 playthrough, I started it on my birthday, which was April 6th. Woo! That was a lot of questions. Holy shit. And I answered them all within the time period that I had. So I'm sorry if I rushed through some of those answers, but man, that was a lot of questions, and I definitely wanted to answer a lot of the ones about Marvel 3, because I know a lot of people have questions about the game, because it's brand new. So, I'm DSP. Thanks for tuning in to Ask the King, and I will see you guys later.